Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets Croatian counterpart Andrej Plenković in Zagreb. The two leaders hold delegation-level talks with focus on ways to boost linkages of commerce and culture. 4 MOUs exchanged between the two sides. Prime Minister Modi concludes his 3-nation visit to Cyprus, Canada and Croatia. Successful meetings with global leaders on sidelines of G7 summit. Receives highest civilian honor of Cyprus. Highlights of the trip. Israel and Iran exchange barrage of missiles amid reports of US moving military assets in West Asia. Trump says Iran's got a lot of trouble and wants to negotiate. Khamenei rejects Trump's ultimatum to surrender. Russian President Putin says ready for substantive talks with Ukraine on principles of peaceful settlement. On possibility of meeting Trump, Putin says meeting with him should be well prepared, bring positive results. Hurricane Erick nears Mexico as a powerful Category 3 storm. Forecasters warn of intense rainfall, bringing life-threatening flooding and mudslides. President Sheinbaum urges caution and evacuation from low-lying areas or near rivers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is en route to India after concluding his 3-nation visit to Cyprus, Canada and Croatia, marking a significant milestone in the bilateral relations between the three countries. Prime Minister Modi's first stop was Cyprus, followed by Canada, where he attended the G7 summit, and then Croatia, making it the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to the European nation. In a significant milestone in India's foreign policy, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has become the first Indian leader to visit Croatia. The visit marks a pivotal advancement in India's outreach to Central Europe, highlighted by key diplomatic engagements, strategic partnerships and also meaningful gestures aimed at strengthening bilateral cooperation.
In a historic first, Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Croatia, scripting a new chapter in India's diplomatic outreach to Europe. Meeting his counterpart, Prime Minister Andrej Plenković in Zagreb, the two leaders underscored their shared democratic values and mutual aspiration for stronger bilateral ties. Together, they unveiled an ambitious roadmap for cooperation, pledging to elevate India-Croatia relations to new heights. From defense and semiconductors to connectivity and cultural exchange, the discussions covered a broad spectrum. 4 key MOUs were signed, spanning agriculture, science and technology, culture and the renewal of a Hindi chair.
हमने द्विपक्षीय व्यापार को बढ़ाने और विश्वसनीय सप्लाई चेन तैयार करने के लिए कई क्षेत्रों में सहयोग बढ़ाने का निर्णय लिया है। हम फार्मा, एग्रीकल्चर, इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, क्लीन टेक्नोलॉजी, डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, सेमीकंडक्टर ऐसे कई महत्वपूर्ण विषयों में सहयोग को बढ़ावा देंगे। शिप बिल्डिंग और साइबर सिक्योरिटी में सहयोग बढ़ाया जाएगा। हमने अपने एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस और सेंटर्स के बीच जॉइंट रिसर्च और कोलैबोरेशन पर बल दिया है। भारत अपने स्पेस अनुभव को क्रोएशिया के साथ साझा करेगा।
Prime Minister Modi expressed deep appreciation for Croatia's steadfast support in India's fight against cross-border terrorism. In turn, Prime Minister Plenković conveyed condolences over the tragic Pahalgam attack.
हम सहमत हैं कि आतंकवाद मानवता का दुश्मन है, लोकतंत्र में विश्वास रखने वाली शक्तियों का विरोधी है। 22 अप्रैल को भारत में हुए आतंकी हमले पर संवेदनाओं के लिए हम प्रधानमंत्री जी और क्रोएशिया सरकार के हार्दिक आभारी हैं। ऐसे कठिन समय में हमारे मित्र देशों का साथ हमारे लिए बहुत मूल्यवान था। हम दोनों सहमत हैं कि आज के वैश्विक वातावरण में भारत और यूरोप की साझेदारी बहुत महत्व रखती है।
We have also talked about Indian efforts to conclude the free trade agreement with the European Union, which Croatia supports. We believe that these negotiations will finalize as soon as possible, negotiations about free trade agreement, because that will strengthen our cooperation and it will facilitate easier trade between Croatia and India.
Reaffirming their commitment to democratic values and global peace, PM Modi also met Croatian President Zoran Milanovic, laying the foundation for a renewed partnership. In a poignant moment, Prime Minister Plenković showed Prime Minister Modi the very site where a military rocket struck the presidential palace in 1991, an event that marked Croatia's secession from Yugoslavia. Honoring the spirit of freedom, the two leaders paid tribute at the monument to the homeland, a symbol of Croatia's resilience and unity. The visit also included a stroll through the heart of Zagreb, where Prime Ministers Modi and Plenković explored the city's rich cultural heritage and vibrant streets. More than just a diplomatic visit, Prime Minister Modi's presence in Croatia signals a deeper economic and strategic embrace between India and Europe. With Jessica Taneja, Bureau Report, DD India.
Let's get to updates on Ahmedabad plane crash now. 6 days after the unfortunate incident, authorities continue to work round the clock to ensure that DNA samples could be matched and remains handed over to grieving families as quickly as possible. So far, tests have verified the identity of 206 victims who died on 12th of June crash, and the mortal remains of 169 victims were handed over to their families. Remaining families are also being contacted and mortal remains will be handed over soon. The testing is being done by teams from the FSL and National Forensic Sciences University. The Gujarat government is closely coordinating with the civil hospital to ensure smooth communication between officials and the families of the victims. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Wednesday interacted with founders, CEOs and senior leaders of various Fintech companies during the Digital Payment Awards 2025 in New Delhi. She hailed India's extraordinary achievements in digital payments and financial technology, noting that the country is now leading the world in real-time digital transactions. She stressed that the pace of innovation we are witnessing in India is a dream for many developed nations. Minister Sitharaman emphasized that India's fintech sector is not only progressing rapidly with its own ecosystem, but is also redefining global paradigms. She also assured that the government will continue to support fintech industry. Minister of State for Finance Pankaj Chaudhary and Secretary DFS M. Nagaraju were also present. India commissioned its first anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft INS Arnala at the Naval Dockyard in Visakhapatnam today. The ceremony was presided over by Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan and attended by top naval officials. Built under the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, INS Arnala is designed for surveillance, search and rescue missions and coastal defence. With advanced weapons and sensors, this 77.6 meters warship marks a major boost to India's naval strength, reinforcing its position in the strategically vital Indian Ocean region. With over 80% indigenous content, these ships reflect India's growing self-reliance in shipbuilding and defence technology. The induction of INS Arnala, the first of 16 indigenous ASW SWC ships, marks a pivotal moment for the Indian Navy. In a powerful and forward-looking session hosted by the International Advertising Association India chapter, Chairman of Prasar Bharati, Navneet Kumar Sehgal, outlined an ambitious vision for the future of India's public broadcaster. At an event titled Prasar Bharati, Unlocking the Potential, the focus was firmly on the evolving role of public broadcasting in a fast-changing media landscape. Speaking on the challenges and opportunities ahead, Prasar Bharati Chairman Sehgal said that the broadcaster must stay connected with the public, entertaining and engaging them while ensuring the delivery of factual and reliable information. Stressing on the importance of modernization, he reaffirmed Prasar Bharati's commitment to its core values, highlighting its distinct role in maintaining credibility in today's noisy and cluttered media space.
I have put all of our stuff, your OTT, entertainment, TV, radio, all into this. I tell my people that maybe another 10-15 years you may not see TV. All of our functions are on smartphone. Then get and improve your content. So that's what now we are working on, to get the better content. How do we engage the young minds? And we are now going to put a section of games also in this.
Let's get to weather updates now. The Indian Met Department issued a yellow alert for Delhi NCR, predicting light to moderate rainfall, thunderstorms, lightning and windy conditions with 50 to 60 kilometers per hour speed, especially during the night till Thursday. Similar weather conditions will also prevail in nearby cities. The minimum temperature in Delhi is expected to settle at 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum temperature is likely to reach 33 degrees Celsius, while monsoon is likely to arrive in parts of Himachal Pradesh in the next 2 to 3 days. The southwest monsoon covered entire Jharkhand on Wednesday, bringing widespread rainfall that is likely to continue across the state till 20th of June, while an orange alert has been issued in Bihar. Further, a red alert was also issued in Assam, and orange alert has been issued in bordering states in northeast India, warning of moderate to heavy rainfall and thunderstorms. As rains continue to lash parts of Kerala, normal life was disrupted in many parts, especially in central northern regions of the state, with river levels rising, homes getting inundated and hundreds being shifted to relief camps. As the monsoon intensifies across Gujarat, parts of the state are dealing with more than just a change in weather. The Met Department has issued an orange alert for Surat, Valsad and Bharuch, warning of heavy to very heavy rainfall in the coming days. Emergency teams have been deployed in the worst hit districts, and authorities have urged residents to stay indoors during intense spell of rain. Hurricane Erick has intensified into a Category 3 storm and continues to gain strength off the Pacific coast of Mexico. Forecasters warn that the system is undergoing rapid intensification and is expected to become a major hurricane later today. The National Hurricane Center reports that Erick forecast approach for the Mexican coastline with dangerous winds, heavy rain and life-threatening surf by the weekend. Hurricane can intensify further before making a landfall, becoming the first hurricane to hit Mexico this season and the second in the Mexican Pacific coast after Barbera. From carbon pollution to sea level rise to global heating, the pace and level of key climate change indicators are all in uncharted territory, more than 60 top scientists warned. Now, greenhouse gas emissions from burning fossil fuels and deforestation hit a new high in 2024 and averaged over the last decade. Earth's surface temperature last year breached 1.5 degrees Celsius for the first time. The hard cap on warming, to which nearly 200 nations agreed, was well below 2 degrees, commonly intercepted to mean 1.7 degrees to 1.8 degrees Celsius. After creeping up on average well under 2 millimeters per year from 1901 to 2018, global oceans have risen 4.3 millimeters annually since 2019. You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, amid fears of a soaring conflict in the Middle East, European ministers to hold nuclear talks with Iran on Friday in Geneva. England squad announced ahead of the India-England face-off in the first test on Friday. In the run-up to the International Day of Yoga, we get you a special report assessing how yoga has traversed boundaries, benefiting millions across the globe.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar.
It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Israel had said that it had struck uranium enrichment sites after the two countries launched another barrage of missiles at each other overnight as the conflict enters the seventh day. Israel said that it destroyed Iran's internal security headquarters in Tehran as more explosions are reported in the Iranian city of Karaj and the nearby Payam airport. Israel said that it targeted Iran's missile manufacturing capabilities and carried out a series of strikes targeting over 20 military sites in Tehran. The Israeli military assesses that it had significantly degraded Iran's ability to fire a large barrage of missiles towards Israel. Meanwhile, Iran has said that it fired medium-range ballistic missiles towards Israel. Tehran has imposed nationwide temporary restrictions on internet access across the country. The Ministry of Information and Communication Technology cited security concerns. As the Israel-Iran conflict enters its seventh day, President Trump held a Situation Room meeting on Wednesday afternoon to discuss U.S. options. While saying earlier that his patience has already run out with Tehran, Trump indicated that he has not yet made a final decision on whether the U.S. would get involved. Trump said he is still weighing his options on U.S. military intervention in the escalating hostilities.
We'll see what happens. We've got a ways to go. They should have made the deal. I had a great deal for them. They should have made that deal. 60 days we talked about it, and in the end they decided not to do it, and now they wish they did it. And they want to meet, but it's a little late to meet, but they want to meet, and they want to come to the White House. They'll even come to the White House, so we'll see. I may do that.
Meanwhile, the foreign ministers of Germany, France and Britain plan to hold nuclear talks with their Iranian counterparts on Friday in Geneva. According to the sources, the ministers will first meet with the European Union's top diplomat, Kaja Kallas, at Germany's permanent mission in Geneva before holding a joint meeting with Iranian foreign minister. According to the source, the talks are to be followed by a structured dialogue at the expert level. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has spoken out in support of Israel's attack, with his foreign minister appealing to Iran's leaders to work towards a solution that would involve assurances over its nuclear program. The German Federal Foreign Ministry organized the first flight to evacuate German citizens and their close family members from Israel on Wednesday. The flight allowed 171 people to leave the region. The employees of the German embassy in Amman were at the Allenby crossing and at Amman airport to support the Germans there. Germans still in Israel who are registered on the crisis preparedness list will be informed about further flights in the near future. A second flight is announced for Thursday, and the ministry said it was also constantly concerned with the situation of German nationals in Iran. Updates on Russia-Ukraine conflict now. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Thursday said that he is ready to meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, but only if it is during a final phase of negotiations. During a roundtable discussion with editors from international news agencies on Wednesday, Putin said Russia wants to end the conflict in Ukraine as soon as possible through peaceful means. The Russian president said that Moscow remains open to substantive talks aimed at settling the conflict in Ukraine. However, the Putin administration questioned Zelensky's legitimacy as a representative of Ukraine.
I'm ready to meet everyone, including Zelensky. I'm even ready to meet with him, but only if it is some kind of final phase, so as not to endlessly sit and divide something, but to put a point to it. However, the signature must belong to legitimate authorities.
England have named their team for the first test of the 5-match series against England. England retained Ollie Pope instead of Jacob Bettel, while Chris Wokes and Bryden Carse returned to the team for the match in Leeds. Meanwhile, all-rounder Wokes returns to the team for the final time since December. Bryden Carse, who has played 5 sets for England, will get the opportunity to impress on home turf for the first time. Other notable names on the squad include top-order batsmen Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, Joe Root. Ben Stokes-led England will face India in the first test on Friday. Meanwhile, the schedule for biggest ever ICC Women's T20 World Cup to be held in England next year was announced on Wednesday. England will play Sri Lanka at Edgbaston on June 12th in the first match of the tournament, which will feature 12 teams for the first time ever. India was placed in Group 1 along with multiple-time champion Australia and will play 5 league stage matches between June 14th and 28th. The semi-finals will be held on June 30th and 2nd of July at the Oval, followed by the final on July 5th at Lord's. Yoga has transcended time and borders to become a beacon of wellness and unity. Let's trace yoga's extraordinary journey from its spiritual roots to its global celebration with this report by DD India's Antara Sinha.
As the sun rises over the mountains, millions begin their day with yoga. The practice, rooted in India over 5,000 years ago, began as a spiritual discipline uniting the mind, body and soul. Ancient texts like the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali laid its foundation, emphasizing meditation and physical postures. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, pioneers like Swami Vivekananda introduced yoga to the West, captivating audiences with its philosophy of balance and inner peace. Fast forward to the 21st century, yoga has exploded globally, fueled by its adaptability. From hatha to vinyas, yoga's physical benefits like stress relief and improved flexibility have drawn millions. By 2025, over 300 million people worldwide practice yoga, with studios in every major city. Social media and celebrity endorsements have amplified its appeal, while scientific studies have validated its benefits for mental health and physical fitness. In 2024, India proposed the International Day of Yoga, which was unanimously adopted by the United Nations. Since then, millions gather annually on June 21st from New York to Nairobi, celebrating yoga's unifying power. Events like mass yoga sessions and virtual classes highlight its role in promoting wellness and peace in a fast-paced world. This ancient practice, born in India, has stretched its way into hearts and homes across the globe. From serene studios to bustling city parks, yoga's popularity continues to soar.
For centuries, yoga has been a cherished practice, harmonizing mind, body and soul. It is a powerful path to physical health and inner calm. It has been adopted by millions across the globe. The International Day of Yoga is a timeless tradition which celebrates yoga. So let's join in and join this tradition and this celebration of yoga. With camera person Monty from Delhi, this is Antara Sinha reporting for DD India.
In Indonesia, an actor once known for his movie and film roles has established himself as a yogi and is making his mark teaching yoga and spirituality. The actor Anjas Mara shares his journey and experiences of yoga practice with DD India.
This is not a new fitness trend. It's an ancient practice from India that's now become a daily ritual for many Indonesians. Yoga was once a foreign concept here, but it's now a familiar word in the wellness scene. But it wasn't always this way.
So we have to find the struggle to explain them about yoga, what is the yoga, because many people they think that yoga is about the spirituality, Hinduism spirituality, but actually it is not. It's about both. It's for the health practice, it's for the, depends if one to take as a spiritual kind. But we introduced yoga as a health purpose.
So what helped turn the tide? Events like the Namaste Festival and International Day of Yoga, introduced by India's Prime Minister, brought awareness and recognition. The United Nations also thought it was important to globally promote this wellness practice.
Every country's, all the embassies are conducting the program, events of yoga, and then from there, I think yoga has become more popular, more famous, and people are more conscious about the yoga. They're more curious to know and want to do yoga practice.
And for some, it's more than just physical exercise. It has become a lifeline. The benefits go far beyond flexibility.
During the course of 3 years, I feel like I just feel much better. My body is more flexible, and you are surprised. Even the stiffest muscles can also be stretched over the time. But I believe yoga also helps to relieve stress and tensions. So in yoga, we believe that you have to breathe mindfully. So it actually is a powerful tool to relieve tensions and stress and anxiety.
Yoga studios are growing in Indonesia, with more people turning to it for better health, flexibility, and stress relief. Over here, International Day of Yoga is marked with events and group sessions across the country, showing how far the practice has spread. This is Chandni Vasandani in Jakarta.
With that, we end this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.